So consider your space, right? And where you go and look professional. Okay. I don't know how far we're going to go with this if we're stuck on 22 minutes on slide number 2. But also clothing, the way you dress. Right? It's not in this, but I'm just adding stuff as we go on. Please make sure that you wear teeth.
I got mine in today.
That's good, yeah. I promise you, if I go to counselling, she doesn't have teeth, she won't see me again. It's like I'm straightforward with it. It's like I'll say, you know what, halfway through the session, this is not working for me. If you don't look good, make sure that you smell good. Make sure your room smells good. And please don't please don't kill the people with incense. Right? Okay, let the room smell good, but if there's like...
More natural.
Yeah, just natural. Okay, just natural. I go to someone who's a spiritual director. When I go to her, she lights a candle and we have a one-on-one session, which is awesome. Unfortunately, I have to go a bit through her house, just upstairs to her room, but it's very, very professional. And her husband's always there too when I go and see my spiritual director. So it's
so the candle could have a bit of a smell.
Yeah, it smells good. She's got a candle there, but please don't go there and like sitting like you're going to have this meditation session with this person and all the smoke is killing me. Because you also don't know if your client's got asthma or anything else, and it's going to just ruin the whole counselling relationship if your client dies of asthma during the session. So rather take your space into consideration. Ooh.
I brought the incense in.
Yeah, you need to kill me.
And ever since then I was like, that is the worst idea possible. Scented candles don't release as much aroma and they don't have the smoke which it is.
Yeah. So
and candles get natural, so that's even more smell.
Yeah. So it's just so just be careful, and also I get from my Christian point of view, there's certain the Buddhistic and those sort of incense is a turn off for me, because most of those sort of are being used in sacrifices, so that's stuff that I don't go for, but if I go for incense, it will be the normal ones I buy at the shop, which is like just normal incense. It's not.
Talk about what you just said about those.
Yeah, because some of those ones are actually specific used for sacrifice, and that is sort of in my religion that doesn't go with that.
One of those incense, sandalwood, which is usually in Buddhist sacrifice for Shiva, the god of war and stuff like that. Yeah. You wouldn't use something like that.
I won't use something like that, but I use the normal Kmart ones or the whatever.
I just use
Actually, what I use at the moment in my own house, in my own room, is the new craze, which is the melts.
Oh yeah, I've got
you know the wax melts. You plug it in and you buy different flavour melts.
Yeah.
It's always great.
The water thing with the lamp.
It's quite. I actually found the melts are quite expensive. But Kmart, it's like 6 melts for $2.
6 melts.
So it's like I just buy from Kmart because it's $2.
I'm allergic to perfume. That's the other thing. You could have a client that's allergic to perfume.
Yeah, and one of those melts lasts about a week.
Yeah.
So for $2 is 6 weeks of flavouring. Stuff that can also cause a nice ambience is the salt rocks. You know the Malayan salt rocks. I've got one in my room. I don't know if they are as effective as they say they are, but they do actually create a nice look, a nice red glow look. It's all about.
You also collect a lot of dust that's in the room, in the airs.
Yeah.
I know with my work, because it's an older house, anytime, like every week I have to clean myself out because it's covered in dust. That's
So you have to.
We put the water in tomorrow.
And also for mine, it's like if it rains, you have to keep it on always, otherwise it melts.
Can you just have a nice airy room with no smell at all?
Yeah.
Because I just do that.
A nice airy room. An airy room is very important. Like this room we're in now is a really, really bad room. Always want to sleep in the room
Yeah.
because there's no ventilation in this room. So make sure that you have a room that's actually. When I worked at Beenley State High, I did counselling in a little room, no ventilation. It was the biggest struggle of my life to counsel kids in there because they come in for half an hour session. I've got to sit there for about 2-3 hours. By the second child, I want to like drop off,
Yeah,
and it's like
stink.
it's like this little room. So normally I moved with the kids out because there the confidentiality wasn't that much of like because I was specifically working on specific stuff. So I went out, normally played Uno cards with the kids while I chatted to him and that sort of stuff. But air is so important, alright? And lighting is so important that your lights and your stuff is there. Okay, so consider your space, where you're going to be. Also your venue. Part of this is your venue. If you want to run a private practice where you're going to charge people $100 to $120, $160 an hour, make sure that you do that in an area where there's not free services all around. Like if you want to open up a paying counselling service in Woodridge and Beenley, that's probably not going to work because there's heaps and heaps of free services to the community. But then you can go to places like Hope Island and Coomera and Tambourine, those sort of places. Go to places where there's not a lot of free stuff. It's really not going to work if you're going to have a counselling service where there's lots of free services around. Okay, but just a thought. You can try that if you want to, but there's a big chance that you won't really get clients. Unless you are brilliant, but your socio-economic area you're in also plays a role. I mean, if people can't afford your fee, they can't afford your fee no matter how good you are. Learn which type of clients you want to see and which ones you don't. Decide who you want to see. Okay, we're not going to see every single person. I get people that say that, can you speak to my child? He's 12. It's like 12 is borderline for me. Under 12, I will not see. I'm not seeing children because I cannot work with kids. I don't have the patience for kids. It's like sort of play therapy, sand therapy, playing with clay, whatever. It does not work for me. Okay, so my clients are adults, relationships. I prefer working with adult men. I prefer working with adolescent boys. That's the areas I love to work on or prefer to work in. But I will also see I will see ladies or old. I struggle with older people. Older people, I mean people in the 60s plus, because it's a bit close to home. It lets me think a lot about my own parents and my own mom or my dad. So I struggle. It's not a no-go zone for me, but I would rather refer you to someone that will work with people at that age. But for some people, it's like I just had a couple the other day that said, we only want to see you. A marriage couple who says, you're the only one. We're not going to see anyone else but you. Which is a bit of manipulating on me, but I took on the challenge, which is a huge challenge. Even my mentor said to me that I don't want to counsel those people. So that's a really difficult case I took on. But make sure that you know where your good and bad areas are and what you want to work with.
So for example, like me, being younger, I work with like teens and children because I've just been that experience to work with people of older age, so I'd stick to that group and that group.
It's easier because they can relate to you. Also, I think if you are 82 or 85 or whatever, to start working with teenagers, it might not work that well unless you're brilliant and you're like a professor in whatever counselling, and people send them to you because they know you're really brilliant. But it's also about building rapport. Okay, an older lady working with children, I think that works perfectly. We have Sister Catherine Mooney. She's a nun. She's I think she's in her 80s or late 70s. She's one of the leading people at the moment working in child counselling in Brisbane. She's brilliant.
You've spoken about her.
She's brilliant, but she's like the grandmother figure, which works great. But if I walk in as like
You're just ordinarily hot.
I'm just an ordinary man, and it's like, really, kid, why on earth do you want to put the doll there? It's like, I'll take the doll and put it there, that sort of stuff. So I would rather refer you to work differently, work in the areas that work for you. Okay, you can change it later on as you go on. Okay. So decide, I'm not going to read this, but decide who you want to work with. Believe in your worth. Right? This is an important one. Believe in your worth. And this is when we talk about finances. Believe that you are worth doing this. Right? You have spent heaps of money to learn this skill. Right? And you are not going to give it away for free. Okay? Believe in your worth. Don't go and make concessions to people and say, oh, I'll do it for free, I'll do it whatever. You have a price and you keep to your price. And if they can't afford that price, sorry.
If you're offering discounts to certain people, that could become a problem with the word to mouth thing that you said discount someone.
So do they get it and I do that?
But you can have packages. Okay, you can have say like, you go to doctors or specialists and they'll say the first consultation is $500, which we never do. Like, my first consultation will be like say $120 or $100. But if you come and see, if you book 6 appointments or whatever, I can bring it down to $80 or whatever. So you can change, you can go cheaper at the if they want, but you are worth it because you're a professional trained person. Okay, so and you will not make money if you don't charge money. Okay, so that's the joy of running a private practice, is you also have to be very strict on your income, and that's also why we don't refer everyone away. Okay, it's like the referring away works like this. Okay, I've got a couple that come and see me. He's got anger issues. So what I do is I refer him to my mate, Michael, who's running an anger issue program. It's a 2-week program. So he goes to see Michael. After that, he comes back to me and we continue the work. Right? I'm not sending him to Michael forever. Okay? He's my client. So I refer him to someone who can help for that area, and then they come back and then they work further with your client. Right? So it's not a thing where I'm stuck, because that's one thing that I get a lot is like people refer on. Among students, it's like we don't refer that your client, that your income. You refer for a specific thing, unless there's like real issues like I really don't like you.
Or mental health.
Or mental health, or stuff like I can't. We don't gel. We don't gel at all. So then we have to refer on. But if we have a good relationship, things are going great. We're actually moving ahead in the counselling. But there's this one issue. I refer this person to someone else for one issue.
And that might help anyway with the counselling, because you might lose them. That's what you need to work out first.
Because we need to fix that area too. But I can't help you to fix that area. So you're going to see Michael. When you're done, you come back and see me again.
It's like I remember reading in the learner guide about if you have someone with hearing problems, some organisations you can get
An
interpreter in help, so you're not referring them off. So
you can get like even translators or whatever. But believe in your worth. Believe that you are worth charging.
I think with the referring on within the community sector, they say refer, and I think that's where people get that.
Yeah, when it comes to the community service areas.
Because you're working in community service, but in community service you don't work for yourself.
No.
In community service you work for an organisation.
Yeah, that's right.
So with us is you work for yourself. So you need to build your own practice. So referring on means like I'm sending my money away.
Yeah.
So you network with your people and you know who's good in what. You send them for 1 or 2 sessions. You make clear that can we make an appointment for you to come back in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever to make sure that you get your client back.
Or after you've counselled, okay, this is where you need to go after this.
Yeah. So, sorry, the Afrikaans keeps on jumping in, but just remember also that with counselling is we don't have to have 10 sessions or 5 sessions. Because with psychology, they have a treatment plan, a 5-session treatment plan or a 10-session treatment plan. You can counsel the same person for years. As long as they want to come back, they can come back. Okay. Unless you get to a place which I got with this person says like, I feel this person is getting dependent on me. But I know the guy that's my mentor, his clients that he's already been seeing for 10, 15 years. Obviously it changed from once a week to once a month or once every 2 months or something like that. So your clients can keep coming back. We don't have to have, and also it's good if you have, and that's what's good where I am, because I've got psychologists, and the idea is also when a person needs more treatment but they can't really afford the psychologist anymore because their treatment plan has run out, then they move over to the counsellor and then
you talk about that mental health plan where you get the 10 free visit thing.
Yeah, but it's not a free thing. You get a rebate, so I think you get an $80 rebate or 60. So
no, you can get free.
Some people get
Everyone gets 10 free visits.
There's free visits.
Okay.
Mental health.
But it is usually a psychiatrist on it and a
Yeah.
psychologist.
Yeah, it's only those two.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, I think
Dietitian?
counsellors do too. 'Cause I'm
No.
sure
No, we
I
don't.
speak to
No, we don't.
counsellors.
Unfortunately, we don't.
Isn't recognised yet, remember?
We don't get that. We don't get the free things. But I know that
Social
when I went with someone, they had to pay you had to pay 160, and then you get 80 back immediately. So you have to pay another 80 if you're a treatment plan, and if you don't have the plan, you have to pay the full 160. That sort of stuff. So, but it probably depends on where you are in the health.
Ladder.
In the system,
Yeah. So, but you have worth. Okay. Also, take safety precautions. Okay. Safety is very, very important. You need to be safe. You need to be. I prefer a room where there's windows. I love the fact that there's windows. Where I go, there's no windows, but there's always people. You know, there's a receptionist. There's always people. There's no one is alone there, which is awesome. So make sure, and that's the other issue I have with going to someone's house, because you don't know if they're going to be alone. That sort of stuff. So you don't know what's the situation. Be safe. Whatever you do, be safe. Have a panic button. At CHC's one, we have a panic button for after hours which you can take. It's got a silent alarm that goes off in the library, and they know that if it goes off, then there's a problem at the counselling room. That sort of stuff. So always be safe. Always make sure that you take safety precautions with your clients. Your safety is number one, and also the client's safety is number one. Let clients do their own work. You don't do it for them. You don't solve their problem. And that's one thing we've been focusing on from the start, is you don't do the work for them. You don't give them suggestions. You guide, you facilitate, you journey. It's like a journey with a client. It's like a pilgrimage. You're on this. And that's why it's a journey. So sometimes it's a journey longer than 6 visits. Sometimes it's a year journey. Peace and calm. Bottle peace and calm. You as a counsellor, you need to be calm and relaxed. Calm and relaxed.
I think I showed that the other day.
you can't be stressed and upset and counsel people. Okay, so if you have a bad day, rather counsel or rather cancel than see your clients. Okay? If you have a bad day, because you need to be calm and you need to be relaxed. Okay? And that's where self-care comes in. You need to take care of yourself. So you need to model calm and relax. You need to model peacefulness. You need to model all these things. And the best way you can do it is taking care of yourself. Okay? If you had a bad day at this morning, you had a fight with your kids, you smashed your car on the way to work, some debt collector which you never expected phoned you, that sort of stuff, and you are really like not in a good space, rather cancel than counsel. Okay? Because you need to be in a good space to work with your client. Okay?
But sometimes you can leave it at the door, like whatever goes on at home once you walk out.
Some people can't, and in some situations it's just too much. You can't leave it at the door. Rather take time off than give a bad service. And remember, your clients are, as I said, pick it up. They pick up what's happening. Okay? Creating a business plan. So we're just going to run through this. Actually, I'm not going to spend a lot of time creating a business plan, but it's there's actually a website which you can go, business.gov.au business plan, and they walk you step by step. That's like a step-by-step guide which will help you to create a business plan. So if you go to www.business.gov.au/business plan, it's they will help you step by step to create your business plan. It would also be good if you've already done some business plan online or some business plan on paper, that you have an idea what you want to do. Okay? So we're just quickly going to go through this. Main business plan's got your business information, okay, the market that you want to work in, future planning, where do you want to go in the future, what do you want to see in the future happening, and also how are you going to do your finance. Who's going to be your accountant, that sort of stuff. ATO, your tax file number, it's ATO number, huh?
It's it's ABN.
ABN number, ABN number, which you get online with the ATO. It's your ABN number. If you're going to do register for GST, I want to say VAT. South Africa use VAT, GST. So all those things. That's why it's good to maybe have a chat to an accountant or someone. Spend the $100 or whatever they charge you. Just make sure that you've got everything in place. Or speak to Sunil, who's doing business.
Yeah.
Okay, so creating your business plan. We all know the SWOT analysis. Your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You just decide on all those things. What are your strengths? What's your weaknesses? What's your opportunities? Opportunities here, let's say the area you live in, there's no counsellor there, there's no one that works with children, that sort of stuff. What opportunities are there? What's threats? It's like many people, it's like I'm a low social income area, so that will be a threat, will be like I might not make money. Or threats is like there's lots of children here, I can't really work with children. So that sort of stuff. 5 keys to a successful business plan is the 4 C's, same sort of thing as the SWOT analysis. What are your capabilities? What's your strengths? What's your challenges, your weaknesses? What's the chances that you can see, and what's the opportunities or the concerns or the threats? So it's the same thing, just different names. There's lots of stuff on the net about this. There's lots of stuff on how to do this. So you can do a bit of research, although I've done all the research for you actually already in all the paperwork. But there's stuff that you now need to sit and work through and reflect on and ponder on, and there's a lot of self-reflection need to be done before you actually get to do this. Okay. This piece of counseling business plan is the key to evaluating your practice from a personal and professional level. By having your capabilities, challenges, chances, and concerns outlined on paper, you can better plan for the future of your practice. So write these things down. Write down what you're thinking for the future. Write down how you think you're going to do this. What's your threats? What's your challenges? Write them down. Don't just sit there and think, okay, fine, I think my threats are this and this and this. Write this stuff down, because especially if you're going to do an online business plan, these things help when you start typing it in. Okay. Okay. Number one, mission statement. What is your mission statement? So, and that is a thing that you need to ponder on and think about, and lots of reflecting is, what's your mission statement? So, it can be something cool, it can be something that actually just explains what you're doing. So your mission.
You've got a question bit there you can ask yourself.
Sorry?
The question's bit there, what is my purpose?
Yeah, what's my purpose? How do I want to affect the populations I'm working with? What am I empowered to do? That sort of stuff. So use them and write a mission statement for yourself. Okay. Then services. Who will I be working with? Old people, young people, children, married couples, relationships, drug addicts, people in prisons. What's the area that you want to work with? What are the issues I want to focus on? So not only people, but what are issues? Depression, anxiety, support to people with children with autism, support to spouses who's got a family member or a spouse that's got depression or anxiety or bipolar, or what do you want to do with your service? What do you want to offer, and when? When do you want to start? And also, which is the best time? Now, he says Fridays, Saturdays. The best time for counseling, especially if you want to work with families and relationship, is after hours and Saturdays and Sundays. Because then they're not at work. Especially if you want to work with a husband and wife, two people working. To get two people to take off for the work at the same time, to come and see you, make sure that it's rather, you've got evening slots, or you've got weekend slots. So at the moment I'm running mine Saturday mornings.
Wow.
From 8 to 12.
And that'd be the same with children and teens, because it can be in the school and stuff like that too.
Children and teens can work, but it can also be okay. So if they have someone that can bring them that sort of stuff, that's fine. For relationships and families and individuals, sometimes it's better to have after hours, which is cool, because then you've got the whole day for yourself, and then you do your work after hours. But you can also be flexible. You can say I work from 8 in the morning to 10 at night. You make appointments in those times. You say to yourself, I only see 5 people a day. These are the hours I'm available. You book 5 people for that day, and you work around those hours.
So basically you work here and then work at night?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then that's a study too.
I know.
So who, what, when? Who, what, when? Okay. So you need to sit and answer those questions. So maybe on a paper write who, what, when, and just go and sit and write about it. Where do you want to do it? We talked about, that's a good one, doctor's offices. Rent a room in a doctor's office for once a week. I'm negotiating with a gym at the moment. to have a room in a gym once a week.
There are a lot of these, like in being medical centre.
Yes.
Up there are a lot of medical centres that
There's,
are popping up everywhere.
there's lots of
now.
medical centres.
They have rooms, I'm sure.
They have rooms. They have.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I know the one, the Coomera Medical Centre has a physiotherapist that comes in once a week, that rents a room there. They have a dietitian that comes in once a week, that sort of stuff. So you can negotiate with them, which is also easy because in general the doctors will refer them to you because you're there. You're there. Okay. So it also, so look around where you want to go, what you want to do. Personal growth, we all know about personal growth, self-care, grow personally. So if you join, when you join ACA, those people, they have a requirement of so many times per year you need to do PD. They send you lists of stuff that's happening PD wise. You have to attend this stuff to still be registered. So personal growth, you need to spend time on personal growth. You need to go to workshops, you need to read stuff. And luckily we have the internet, there's lots of stuff we can keep on reading. So nutrition, alright, 4 main areas focus on for yourself is nutrition, balance. Make sure that you eat healthy. Have a healthy balance. Healthy body, healthy mind. Okay? You can't sit there and you struggle with indigestion. The smile on your face might be just heartburn and not really like listening to your client, that sort of stuff. Sleep, you need to get enough sleep. At least 8 hours. We've done the sleep. I've done workshops with you guys on sleep routine and sleep hygiene, and we need 8 hours. There are people that say, oh, I can only do 3, or I only need 3. The only time when your brain switches off for sleep is between hours 7 and 8. That's when your brain sleeps, and that's when your brain regenerates itself. So if you only sleep 7 hours, your brain doesn't switch off and regenerate itself. So you need, and don't say I'm going to sleep 12 hours. It doesn't work. It only works from hour 7 to hour 8. After 8 hours, it's not working anymore.
You're just having a normal sleep.
You're just having a normal sleep. So all the rest, the whole rest for your body takes 8 hours, not 9, and definitely not 3. So that's like, and you cannot catch up on lost sleep. That's also like nonsense. So I haven't slept well in the last month. So one day I'm just going to take off and I'm going to sleep the whole day. It doesn't work. You feel even worse then, because it only works up to 8 hours. Okay. And interesting enough, it is also found that people that go to bed before 11 sleep better than people that go to bed after 11.
Yes.
So there's something about 11. If you go to bed before 11, you sleep better than people who go to bed after 11. So there's a bit of rest period happening there too, which is proven.
All right. It has something to do with the number of hours in the day.
Yeah, something, yeah.
It would have to be that.
I do feel a difference if I go to bed like later than 10.
Yeah. Energize, exercise, what sort of exercise? I'm not saying we're all going gym, but exercise. What sort of exercise do you do? Do you take a walk? Whatever. A healthy body, a healthy mind. Okay? We need to have some sort of exercise, because the endomorphones, whatever is the word, which I can't say properly now, but it gets released when we do exercise. So happy hormones going to your brain. And we work with brain the whole day. So you need to feed your brain with happy hormones. Okay,
You should do that sort of thing more in the morning then?
Whenever. I can't do that. I'm an O-type person. My relaxation is gym.
Yeah,
Exercise is my relaxation. If I do it in the morning, I'm useless throughout the day. I just want to sleep, because that's my relaxation. So I do gym at night. I can go to gym 12 at night and I can sleep like a baby after gym. It's just my relaxation is gym, and I've tried the morning thing and then I want to sleep immediately after that.
Well, that answers
And
mine, 'cause that's happening there.
it's like not working for me
No.
to gym in the mornings. All
I
right.
get more tired.
Spirituality, what do you do spiritually? That also is an area which is quite important in the life of the whatever spiritual life you live or whatever you do. Think of things that are important to you on a personal level and write them down. Personal growth is a key piece of your business plan. It is really important that you work on your personal growth. Right? When you get your qualification, it's not the end of your studies. Okay? It's not the end of your studies. I have a saying which some people find offended when I say that. My one lecturer laughed and he said that is so good, he wants to use it. A qualification doesn't make you a counsellor. Some people get a piece of paper and they're like, oh, I'm a counsellor now. You're not. Okay? This is just the start. This is just, but there's stuff you still need to do. And you need to build yourself up. We're just teaching you the basics. But you need to decide, and this is like you can now go further into CBT, PCT, whatever you want to do. Go further. This is just a start.
That's what we had in nursing. You had them come out of uni, come to us and go, right, no, wow, you just sat there. You've got to have that experience and build and learn about things.
And the more you counsel, practice, as Peter Janetsky said, the better you become. Right. Administration. Alright, we all hate administration. No, not really. Some people love it. But find ways how you're going to do your administration. Okay. How do you do your admin? How do you do your record keeping? Where are you going to keep your records? We all say, oh, it's locked in a safe file in the... I mean, that's like a little mantra that we all use. It's not always true. Mine's not locked in a safe file. Mine's in my bag, you know, which I carry with me when I go to counselling. At home, I put it in a safe spot because I don't leave. I can leave it at the venue where I am, but then I have to rent a space there. So and they recommend we actually take it with us. So. Yeah, so I just have my paperwork with me. So just where you safe, where you put it. Okay, so decide on your administration, the administration plan, how you're going to do your records, how you're going to do your finances, your billing, all sorts of stuff. And remember, we also now have Skype. You can counsel via Skype too. Just saying. Okay, and then write down your plan, don't forget about it. Go back to your plan every 6 hours. 6 months. Yes, if you go back every 6 hours, you'll be constantly working on your plan, but like every 6 months or so, just don't forget what your regional plan is. Okay? Write down your vision. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve with this? Right, branding, special name. Please don't use a stupid name.
Like what?
Have a chat.
Have a chat.
I mean, like, be professional, okay?
Yeah.
And rather not go on and do it like Andrea's counselling service. You know?
I was going to say Willow's place.
Something like that.
I think that was beautiful.
The problem is that your name needs to tell you what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay? So and the other problem is, like, if you franchise one day, if you want to decide, and this thing blows out of the water and grows like crazy, I honestly don't want to franchise with another guy's name on it.
No.
So make sure that your name is like something that tells what it is, and your branding, what you're branding. Okay. Name your business, create a logo, graphic designing, trademark your business name if you have to, trademark your logo if you have to, design marketing material, paper marketing, business cards, signs, whatever.
Trademarking your business name, that's not,
Where you register your name.
oh, that's
Yeah,
registering
yeah.
your name.
But-
That's not, what do they do, patent?
Patent, no.
No.
But in
Patents
the,
ideas.
No, but trademarking is more than registering your name.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that no one else can use your name.
You've got to pay for it.
yeah,
You usually
yeah.
go through
Yeah,
a
but
trademarking company.
but in the beginning, I'd say don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Don't be so like. If it's really like a serious thing, after a while it sort of starts to come back.
Yeah.
But most people don't trademark their name.
And you've got to
Okay.
make sure no one else has it or you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah. So where I joined this, I don't have to trademark my name because I'm just working under their name, because I rent the rooms from them. So I actually work under them, so I'm under their name, so I don't have to worry.
See, their names would be trademarked.
Yeah, their names would be because they're
Vision
big.
and whatever,
Because they're big and
That's
and
right.
they've got like 100 and whatever people working for them and that stuff.
You've got to have a reason.
Yeah. So
You've
yeah,
got to keep it up.
you can keep it up. Yeah.
A lot of tradies do it.
In South Africa, I trademarked the name, which I trademarked and paid money for it. And for X amount of years, you own the name, that sort of stuff. I don't really know.
Register it because of it.
Yeah, so one of my friends, his surname is Apple. He had an awesome photography business, Apple Photography, and he got sued by Apple.
Are you joking?
And they said he must change his name, and he said, "But that's my surname." But yes, he had to change the Apple Photography to another name because of Apple found out that he used the word Apple. So don't go in Apple counselling or something like that. But yeah, don't use the obvious. But yeah. Okay, so your website, you register your the name, your domain.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the other thing that's easy with as I said, I'm like plugging Vistaprint now like crazy, but if you go on, they've got thousands of business card logos and stuff there which you can just choose from. There's like, you can upload stuff, but they've got like thousands. I actually chose two hands touching on mine, and I didn't put a logo on mine or a name on mine, I just said counsellor. So I've just got big words on my business card that says counsellor, and underneath it's my name and my YouTube address, my email address and stuff like that. So there's lots of stuff out there. You can do it without paying a fortune. You know, it doesn't need to cost you thousands to start off.
So I think I must have gone through them too. I got 1,000, and I got a pen with what my logo. You could it's a piece.
Okay, occupational health and safety issues. We're not going to go through that. You know the basics. Just make sure it's safe for you, safe for your clients. Make sure that the plugs are fine, and that's not what your client looks like at the end of the session. Sometimes I feel like that at the end of the session, but yeah. Okay, self-care is important. That's why I put that video on the other day, the 3-minute video on just to make it sure that self-care is really important. We need to take care of ourselves. Okay, pastors, social workers, counselors are the 3 careers where people burn out most. So we are in those careers where we burn out the most. So be careful of burnout. Tips: do the SWOT analysis. Networking, make sure you network. Networking is that's why we join association. That's where you start networking. Also chat to your GP. If you go to your GP, chat to your GP, say I'm starting a counselling business. Some of them might be very generous and say bring some of your business cards, put them here. I've got business cards in the gym. I've got business cards at South African shops.
Some of your local coffee shops.
Some of your local coffee shops.
What are South African shops?
South African shops where they sell South African products.
Like is there one around here somewhere?
The Oxenford's got a very big one. Yeah.
Oh, it's Oxenford.
Oxenford has a
okay.
big one. Yeah. Yeah. So we.
A lot of places in Brisbane too.
Sorry? Yeah, there's a few in Brisbane too. Yeah.
Sometimes they have a stall in the middle of big shops too.
Yeah. They just they import South African foods and stuff there. So yeah. Patience and dedication. Important patience and dedication, which is awesome. We need that. We need a lot of it because you're not going to get a full session at once. Which is great about where I go with M1 is like if you don't have clients, they roll it over to a next session or next day. So although you book out the 4 hours and you pay for the 4 hours, if you don't have clients for those 4 hours, they just move it on to the next week. So it's not like you have no one. So we take your money and that sort of stuff. They roll it on.
So if you only had clients for 2 hours, so the next 2 hours would go.
No, not the 4 hours. So if I have no one for the 4 hours.
Oh, if you have no one for the 4 hours.
Yeah. So if some like in the beginning, it can be slow, and then later on it can be so busy that you need to book two 4-hour blocks or whatever. But if you'd like that, don't book 2 4-hour blocks back to back.
Yeah.
Book 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon, or something like that.
You've always
because
said that you had a break.
you need a break. You need a break. The best is to just have 5 clients a day.
Yeah.
5 clients a day is really, it's draining.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I was
draining.
thinking.
Because it's not case studies, it's real situations, it's real
Yeah.
people, it's real lives. You need to think on your feet the whole time when you're there. Okay, diversity, diversify, right? Specialize in different areas. Okay, the more you can do, the better. But don't do just so much that you burn out. But diversify. Don't say I just work with children. Work with areas like the area I'm working in is marriage counselling and relationship counselling, and there's really a need in that area. There's not a lot of people that do that. I tried to get someone to speak to a while ago, and it's like next to impossible. And the only person I can see for that is I had to book 3 months. I had to wait 3 months to see them. So that's an area where I found a need. So look in your area. What's the need in your area? Where can you actually become a good counsellor? And then obviously the most important one is self-care. Without self-care, you don't have a business. Okay? Without self-care, there's nothing. That's why you need your clinical supervisor. You need your times of relaxation. You need to read your rubbish books from time to time. I read academic books. That's what I do. So I don't read the normal books, but from time to time I go to Kmart and I buy rubbish.
Yeah.
A murder mystery, or I just buy that, which is cheap, and read that, just to read something different than your normal academic books, which I always read. So, and you need to switch off. Right, practical exercise. This is one you've got all the info there. So we're just going to quickly run through this. But your practical exercise is, what's your mission? What's your mission? What do you want to? Why do you want to do this? Okay. What's your mission? So you chose to become a counsellor. Why? Okay. What's your vision? What do you want to achieve? Okay. What's your strength? Are you good with children? Are you, what areas are you good with? Okay. What's your weakness? Find your passion. What's your passion? What your passion is? The people you want to work with. Okay. If your passion lies with homeless people, that's obviously an area you want to work with. Or if it's with drug addicts, or with alcohol people, or with marriages that's breaking up, or whatever. What is your passion? And that's where you want to go. So there's a reason why it's your passion. Who do you want to work with? I got a whole thing for all sorts of pictures there from all sorts of issues. You want violence, and single people, and broken heart people, divorced people, suicidal people, lonely people, alcoholics. What do you want to work with? I just don't have prison there, but yeah. Alcohol, eating. What's the area that you want to work with? Even do you want to do pre-marriage counselling? We're all focused on divorce and those things, but pre-marriage counselling is also not, I actually think you get grants from the government. I'm not sure of that one exactly, but
There should be more of that.
but there's because
Yes,
they passed a
it's
law
become
about
big.
pre-marriage counselling. So location, where you want to be. Okay. Child room, normal room, weird room.
That's cool as shit.
I'll wait for you to say that one.
Okay, so group work. Do you want to? And another thing is, like, remember, do not frown on group work,
No,
Okay.
that's actually quite good.
and that's where the money lies,
Yeah.
because you charge
Yeah.
$120 for one person.
Yeah.
Okay, group work you charge $50 per person, and you have 10 people in a group, so you make $500 in that hour, where with the one person you make $120. Makes you think. So group work, So your room plays a role. That's obviously a child's counselling room.
That one on the right side, if you were doing something like drum beat therapy or something, would that be an appropriate kind of room because you have space and...
Yeah, but just not in a building.
Yeah.
I don't think your neighbours will love drum beat.
No.
So if you want to do drum beat, make sure you go take them somewhere outside. Fire. I mean, we did drum beat.
My son's name.
I did drum beat at school, but we had our djembe drums in a room far away from the school. I mean, it wasn't a good idea to have drum beat underneath the math class, but we could have drum beat close to the music section. So we had 10 drums, so we had a group of 10 kids which we did drum beat with.
So that still just goes
But
out
if you
that
were doing
location.
something like that, that's where you could even think about a hall or, that type of thing.
Yeah, that type of
wouldn't
thing.
normally be suitable for a normal counselling room, but for...
But also drum beat, something like drum beat, is also something you can go outside because you don't really have a very big confidential issue. You don't do the one-on-one thing with 10 people, we do drum beat.
So I feel like for me, where I want to do a holistic thing, if you went out to like say
You can-
bush or something,
Yeah.
play out there or on the beach.
Yeah. Even tambourine, you know that I went there the other day. I just walked through it. That place that does is the not the palms, the bamboo. The bamboo we like that bamboo place. Yeah, like
I haven't been there.
it's like I mean you can arrange with people like that and do drum beat there, something like that because they've got that little amphitheater stuff there.
There's a lot of places on
Yeah.
the brand you can do it.
Yeah, so people walk, people go to what's closest to them. Okay, so basically today's people go for convenience. So if you're too far, they will not go to you. So make sure that you identify your area where you want to be, the type of people, and make sure there's actually people living in that area. Okay, it's like in South Africa I had a church in an area where there were 4 churches and there were 300 people living there. Obviously, I will not build a mega church there. So, fear. Face your fears. Okay. Why I put fear there is like the one. If that thing that makes you scared to do this doesn't exist, will you do it? Okay. And what's that one thing? I just want you to reflect on that on your own time. What's that one thing that prevents you after you've completed your course? Not yet. But what's that one thing that prevents you from doing something? And why do you want to do this? What's your motive? I ran out of ideas for pictures, so these are all pictures of soap opera I'm watching in South Africa. So it's like all the characters of a South African soapie. So so it's about a hospital and all the staff at the hospital, but it's better than Home and Away. So I'm not watching Home and Away anymore. Hey?
That's that movie.
It's a movie, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's an old movie, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a
What it's called now? Boy and a little boy and he grows up and all that.
isn't the main character's name Pip?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. It's a
That's it.
yeah. Okay.
Charles Dickens movie.
Hey?
From Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens. Yeah.
That's it.
For whom the bell tolls?
No.
Something like that. Okay. So I mean, I don't really want to work with her. Honestly, she'll scare me. But
That's a movie you're watching.
yeah. So keep calm and believe you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Hey girl, you can do it. I thought we're gonna only have girls today, so that's why. You can, if you dream it, you can do it. And then that one is you can do it, or we can do it. If you can dream it, you can do it. Remember, the whole thing started with a dream and a mouse. For Walt Disney, it started with a mouse. Remember, it started with a mouse. So you don't have to be big. Start big. You can start small. I mean, you can start with 1 or 2, whatever clients a week. You don't have to have a full booking the week. You can start small. Pursue your dreams and live your passion. And there's just examples. Not that one. One example.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just, you can just go through this. It's examples of how to how to do your business plans. Okay. It's just examples of business plans and how to develop your business plan and how to think of your business plans. So that's why I've given you all these different examples of what to do and action plan and
The other thing that you
This is
could do
awesome,
now while
thank
we're,
you.
the other thing we could do now while you're studying is smart.
yeah. So
Smart thing.
smart thing, decide where you want to go, what you want to do. There's another template for a business plan. There's lots of, you can still do a lot of research on the internet. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff you can do. This is just ideas for you to work with while you're thinking of doing your own stuff. Okay. But there's more.
Wow.
You had fun, didn't you?
Oh, that's
There's
awesome.
more.
Thank you so much.
There's more. So that is just a bit of a introduction on how to start a business. Okay, so you can think creative, you can think different, but the main stuff is business plan. You have to draw up some sort of business plan. You have to have an idea where you want to go and what you want to do with this. Right. So that is it, and it is now 1 o'clock.
6 minutes.
Wow.
So after take a bit of a break for about 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and then I am going to do the one that says how to write a A+ summary.
Yes, please. On the research and things like that.